Hey guys, and what is up? It's your boy Tise here. A year ago I stopped making proper YouTube videos, and before that I made quite a few videos where I talked about how much I love Sonic Unleashed and how it's my favourite game of all time. Truth is, I don't really like Sonic Unleashed anymore, mainly because of my change in opinion regarding the Werehog portion of the game, which I've held on to for a few years. I used to think the Werehog was good until I played other games with better combat systems, like the Star Wars Force Unleashed games, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and Sleeping Dogs. After playing those games, I started to notice more and more flaws with the Werehog that I hadn't noticed beforehand, and the Werehog levels started to feel more and more like an average 3D beat-em-up, which became more boring and less fun to play. While the other games I just mentioned have lots of useful combos, do a good job of teaching a player how the combat systems work, and have a decent variety of enemies, the Werehog has a long list of unlockable combos, but many of them go unused as spamming the same couple of moves is enough to get the job done. Sonic Unleashed also only scratches the surface in terms of teaching the player how the Werehog's combat system works, so it's no wonder why so many people who play the game just button mash. And while there's numerous enemy types in the Werehog levels, for the most part they stop introducing new enemies halfway into the game, and the only thing that changes is the amount of enemies you faced and how much stronger they get later on. And aside from that, the Werehog has some other issues like the repetitive battle music, the controls being a bit iffy when it comes to platforming, the hit detection of your attacks sometimes being whack and not damaging enemies when your punches clearly touch them, and the slow pace of the levels compared to Unleashed's more beloved half, and the fact that the Werehog levels take longer to do than the normal Sonic levels, with the day levels taking around 2 to 5 minutes, while the night levels take around 8 to 12 minutes, and a few times 6 minutes if it's a short level that had been cut in half, with the other half sold as DLC later on. Despite realising that the Werehog stages weren't as fun as they used to be for me, Sonic Unleashed had been my all-time favourite game for years though, so I didn't want to accept that I didn't really like the Werehog anymore, and I also didn't want to make previous videos I made about Sonic Unleashed being my all-time favourite game outdated and poorly aged. So I continued putting up the facade that I still enjoyed the Werehog and kept claiming Sonic Unleashed to still be my favourite game of all time in newer videos, while gassing up the Werehog and its attributes like its long list of combos which mostly go unused, and the enemy variety which dries up halfway into the game. But then eventually, after I stopped making proper YouTube videos last year, I stopped caring if some of my videos would become poorly aged over my change in opinion, and I've come to fully accept that I no longer like the Werehog portion of Sonic Unleashed as it's just an average God of War clone, and that I also don't really like Sonic Unleashed anymore aside from the normal daytime Sonic levels which make up 25% of the game. Also, one more thing regarding Sonic Unleashed story, I used to think Sonic Unleashed had a great story, but upon my last few playthroughs of the game I've come to realise that the story is just alright but nothing special. It has a strong opening act and end game, but for most of the game, the story takes a massive backseat, with not much happening story-wise from after you restore the first planet piece till the 6th planet piece. So yeah, I don't really like Sonic Unleashed anymore, mainly because I've came to realise that the Werehog is just average after playing better games. And I guess making this video means that I'm back to making regular videos again, though I don't think I'll be making them as often as I used to, not that I even made them that often in the first place. Though at least I'm not doing a role plays and promising videos that'll half the time never get made. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you later. Peace out.